Hi everyone, Meteorologist Joel Curtis with your Alaska weather YouTube video. And this is issued on Wednesday, December 18th. So starting out, we have the winter solstice on Saturday at 12:21 a.m. Alaska Standard Time. So that'll be as short as it gets, and then we're increasing. So I'm sure looking forward to that. I know a lot of you are too. Okay, hazardous weather. We got one in the southwest and one in the southeast. So we have a coastal flood advisory for the Quillingock area at high tide late tonight. It's already windy in some portions of the western coast, about 15 to 25 miles an hour, and I've seen a few gusts as high as the lower 40s. And then also White Pass has low wind chills to minus 30 Fahrenheit tonight. So if you have to drive through the pass, that's one to really take account of. Okay, so we've got our satellite image. It's really complex with these systems that are coming up into the southern part of the Gulf, and then they swing back into the Bering Sea. And you can just see that mess out there. It's really hard to describe. So here's the loop again, and that stream of plenty of moisture hitting southwest Alaska, and it's eventually going to make its way all the way up into the Gulf too. So rather than doing a surface analysis today, I thought I would show the satellite image with the fronts a little bit thinner so you could just see how complex it is. We have several low pressure systems as low as 955 millibars. They're just between Adak and Dutch Harbor. And then another one that's developing right south of southeast of Sand Point, 968 millibars. And the reason that these things are fending off toward the northwest is because of the high pressure, and there's an upper level ridge that's associated with that over the Yukon Territory and Northwest Territories. It's a pretty strong one. So here's for tonight's weather. What you can see is, first of all, several troughs moving in that easterly flow that's at low levels. There's our system that drops down into 963 millibars in the Bering Sea, and that'll start to fill. And then 971 well southeast of Kodiak Island with a full occluded front. And you can see that there is plenty of precipitation associated with that, all moving up toward the north. And then that same system now, 972 millibars, almost due south of Kodiak Island. That guy is going to swing over into the Bering Sea. The frontal system that moves further up into the Gulf brings precipitation to almost the entire Gulf Coast, into south central, into southeast Alaska, and then over on the Bering Sea side, much of that precipitation is actually now south of the southwestern portion of the state. A little skiff of snow into the Bristol Bay area and maybe Nunivak Island or so. The Pribilofs are still in it, and of course all of the Aleutians and much of the Alaska Peninsula with that occluded front that's moving up out there, and it's associated with the two. Then for Friday, what we have is a couple of weaker systems now in the Bering Sea, and this one generating up to storm force, 953 millibars, well southeast of Kodiak Island. Lots of lines on the chart, so you can estimate that there's a lot of wind out there on the Gulf of Alaska. And then, of course, we see precipitation all the way across all of the coasts in the southern portion of the state. And some pretty good weather up in the north. 1 week a little low, well northeast of Kaktovik, and that is just not making any weather. So now let's look at the Thursday morning temperatures. We've got a lot of negative double digits up on the north slope, and then it tapers off to single negative digits as we get into the central interior. And then as you get into south central, that the mountains tend to block, and so that warm air is staying in that section of Alaska, and you can see plenty of double digits for the lows, but still all below freezing until you get way down there like Seldovia or so. For southeast Alaska, because they've been having some clear skies, they're getting into the teens and the lower 20s or so, and you have to go all the way down to Ketchikan to get to 36 degrees or so. Meantime, going out the Alaska Peninsula, the temperature's generally in the 30s. That is still in fairly warm air mass. The Pribilof's 34, and then all the way out to Shemya, you can still see 35 degrees, so it's above freezing. Then for a high temperature Thursday afternoon, as you go out the Alaska Peninsula, hey, some temperatures into the 40s, including Kodiak Island, and 38 for the Pribilofs, but again, 40s in the Bering Sea, that's where the warm air is going. And then as you go further north, a lot of single digits for the high temperatures Thursday afternoon in the central interior. But if you get out along the coast, still you might see some double digits, 27 for St. Lawrence Island, for example, but negative single digits as you get up on the north slope. And then for southeast Alaska, temperatures into the lower 40s. The further south you go, but 23 degrees for Skagway, where that cold air is still associated with a high pressure system over Canada. So then for Friday morning, again, negative double digits all along the north slope, and plenty of that cold air still in the central interior. Again, the mountains are kind of blocking and holding that warm air in the south, and so it looks like we got like 18 at Talkeetna, but then as we get down into south central, into the 20s, and probably about 32 as you get down to Seldovia, 37 for Kodiak. Temperatures in the 30s for most of southeast Alaska, but 42 for Ketchikan. And then as you go out the Alaska Peninsula, temperatures generally in the 30s all the way out, all the way to Shemya. So for our high temperatures Friday afternoon, again, negative single digits for the north slope and negative single digits into the positive single digits for the central interior. Again, look at those temperatures for south central, in anywhere ranging from 30 all the way up to 42 degrees. South of Prince William Sound, 41, Middleton Island, 45, 44 for Kodiak Island. And then as you get over to the Alaska Peninsula, maybe a little bit cooler as those systems go by, but temperatures generally in the 30s, and a few maybe touching 40 or so. And then for southeast Alaska, temperatures in the 30s in the north, and 41 for Yakutat, and 47 all the way for Prince of Wales Island, and 43 for Ketchikan. So let's take a quick look at the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook for the 24th through the 28th. That would include Christmas. Pretty good probability that it's going to be above normal for the about, let's say, the southeastern half of our forecast area. And then as you get further to the northwest, it looks like a pretty good chance that it's going to be below normal for, let's say, Kotzebue and Nome or so, with an area in between. And then for our precipitation, the whole state has got some probability of being above normal precipitation, and south central being the highest probability that we're going to be above normal. Also, let's not forget that there's still some onshore flow for southeast Alaska too. So that's it for your public weather for this evening, and please stay safe out there.